New products for 2007. Brand new and with lifelike action, Persuader American Angling introduces the Baby Duck. Bass are known to feed on baby ducklings paddling across the surface of the water. Thus, the baby duck bass bait was developed to capture that instinct. This bait is hand-carved and hand-painted for greater realism and includes real feathers across the top back of the bait.
Now, here in 2007, Persuader American has come up with another bait. My name is Randy Pringle. I'm one of the pro staff of Persuader American. And right today, we're going to display this new innovation of baits on the market. It's called the Baby Duck. The Baby Duck is going to be very unique and due to a couple different things. This is hand-carved, hand-painted. It's got 3 coats of enamel, so it won't chip. Actual feathers, this is why it's going to be protected. So when you're throwing around rocks, stumps, you're not going to be cracking this bait. The Baby Duck is one of those baits that when you anglers go out, you want to catch the possibility of catching a larger fish. This is the deal. Little minnows catch a lot of fish, but they're going to catch a lot of the smaller fish. Ducks, frogs, these type of items catch a lot of big fish. Baby Duck by Persuader American. I think you're going to like to take a look at this bait while it walks in the water. When throwing the Baby Duck out in the water, there's several directions you can throw this. And what I mean by throwing it, you put it along the edge of an item because baby ducks don't like to get way out off the bank. Get it tight to the cover, and you can do the old, I'm just going to crawl it back, little baby ducks just swimming along the shoreline, and every once in a while give it a pause. That's one way to fish this. Now, there's other ways to fish it is just give it real small little twitches and make it look like it's bobbing up and down, feeding as it's going along the bank, feeding on little items in the water. You know, I'm throwing 65-pound braided line. And when you're throwing line that strong, one of the things that I have to have is when I hook that fish and it's 10 pounds and it's pulling back and I'm giving it the old, I've got a piece of steel inside this bait. And it runs alongside of all 3 rings. The one that you're going to tie to and the 2 hooks, giving me the major amount of strength. I mean, they make old plugs all day long out of wood. But a lot of times they're screwed in, they pull out, you catch a couple fish. This bait, hand-painted, hand-carved, big piece of steel inside of it, keeping that bait as strong as it possibly can for your enjoyment so you can use it and use it and use it. The only time I want you to buy a new one is because you caught so many fish, your buddy says, I don't have one. That's when I want you to buy a new one. I want it to last, and that's why Persuader American has put together the Baby Duck. Make it last, catch a lot of fish, and have a good time with something like this. I don't know if the camera's going to get this, my good people out there, but I just saw the water, and I like to use the word undulate. There was a fish underneath it, checking it out. Really warm right now, so these fish are kind of lethargic, but there was a fish underneath that bait, just made it kind of roll. He looked at it. The Baby Duck is one of those baits that you can always improve on. When you take this out of the package, you're going to fish it your way. And the ideas that I'm coming up with is I like to emulate that way that duck is kind of feeding, he's bobbing his head, he's working, he's going down the bank, he's just kind of meandering, feeling nonchalant, and then he pauses, he looks left, he looks right, and he's just checking things out, and then he goes on his way again. And keeping that bait in that strike zone, if you watch this Baby Duck, watch it carefully, you can watch that you can make it sit in the exact same spot by just twitching that rod tip, keeping it in the strike zone. That is going to be devastating for you people out there that are fishing in those little holes. You can pitch it in the holes, let it sit there and wobble it back and forth, giving that illusion that I'm ready to get eaten. Come and get me. Ringing the dinner bell. Wah. Wah. when you're working that baby duck and you're wobbling it back and forth, oh, there's a, oh, gee, Minnie, that was beautiful. I hope you guys got that on film. That was awesome. That was a good fish. He blew up right on that side of that boat. Oh, that's a nice fish. Oh, that'll go. That'll go. He just came up and just ate that fish. Oh, there we go. Look at that baby duck. He just ate that Persuader baby duck bait. Oh, man, he just smoked it. Just sucked it up. Come on, baby. Oh, yeah. Yes. Yep, look at that. The baby duck. Persuader America. That's the fish to catch, and that's what you want to throw. Try it. You'll enjoy that bait. Oh, he got that in there good. You know, when I'm fishing these baits, I like that bait to be able to hold on and not bend apart. And with that piece of metal that's in between those hooks, not bending that thing out, this will last for fish after fish after fish. That's what I like. Baby duck. Gotta love it. That's what it's all about. Enjoyment.
New products for 2007. New for 2007, Persuader electronic E-chip spinnerbaits. An electronic spinnerbait that outfishes standard spinnerbaits 3-to-1 based on field tests. The patented E-chip crystal is mounted on the shank of the hook and duplicates the electrical voltage discharged by the nervous system of live bait. The E-chip never needs a power source, and it never wears out. Slight movement or vibration of the device is enough to generate the charge. E-chip technology. The Persuader electronic E-chip spinnerbait is available in both 3/8 ounce and 1/2 ounce sizes, and 7 great color combinations. It also features powder painted heads and mustad ultra point hooks. Persuader electronic E-chip spinnerbaits with E-chip technology.
Hey America, I'm telling you, my name is Randy Pringle, and I'm out here fishing with the new electronic E-chip Persuader American spinnerbait. Really unique concept here. This actual E-chip will give an electrical charge in the water. Now this has been tested from California University in San Francisco. It actually will give that kind of impulse of bait fish being fed upon. Now they've been using this technology many years. You know, I'm talking many years, I'm talking 4 or 5 years with the salmon industry. And this bait right here, I personally have tested it and worked it, where as I've given to a client or somebody else, they fished it, then I fished it, and I have caught 3-to-1 on this bait. Now the concept of it is really simple. It has a crystal on both sides of the actual ball. This ball is a stainless steel ball. It bumps from one side to the other as it goes through the water. So when it hits that one side or the other, sends that impulse in the water, it sends that boom. That impulse is an electrical charge in the water, given that feeding fish concept. Now, over the course of time when I've worked with this bait, I've utilized it in many different directions. I find it to work really well is when you're reeling that bait in and you kick that bait with your wrist, flaring that blade, allowing that ball to thump back and forth, creating that charge. Now, when you're doing that, when you're reeling that bait in and you're kicking it, realizing that's when the strike's going to come. So make sure you're ready for it, because it's going to happen. It's going to bam, right when they kicks that bait, sends that charge out, fish is going to come over there, bat, hits it. Okay. This bait is going to come in 7 different colors. Now, 3/8, ½ ounce is going to cover the whole world, what you're going to need. Now, for you anglers that sometimes are talking about the hook size, they've done this to this. On the ½ ounce, you got a 5/0 mustad hook, and on the 3/8 ounce, you're going to have a number 4/0 mustad hook. So it gives you that little smaller profile, smaller hook when you go to the 3/8. A lot of anglers like that. I got that big old hook. Either way I go, 4/0, 5/0, that's going to get the job done. Now, they put a channel in this spinnerbait. If you look at it real closely with that camera, you'll see that there's a channel. And if you can't see it, I'm telling you, there's a channel where that water is going to go right through that area, not disturbing any part of that spinnerbait, allowing it to track straight when you're moving it, so that each chip doesn't make it flow right or left. It's going to make it a great spinnerbait to throw. With the quality of components that Persuader puts in all their baits, this new electronic E-chip Persuader spinnerbait is going to be one of the baits you've got to have in your box. 3 coats, powder paint, Bioflex skirt, mustad hook. 2 colors, sealed so that the eyeballs hold chip resistance. Got to have a good blade. Got to have a good system, and here it is. I think you're going to enjoy this bait. Let's play with it. Better than some, not better than others. This is a good old spinnerbait fish when you're fishing your body of water. There we go. Got a little more weight to it. All right. That old E-chip, it just bait, 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 wham. Nice fish. Nice little fat fish. I mean, this is what, you know, you go out there, you have a good time. If it can increase your fishing, there it is. Persuader American. Their new one for 2007. The 2007 electronic E-chip spinnerbait by Persuader American. That's what you're going to want to throw. Up and coming. Check out your stores, and if you can't find your stores, ask for it. Can't get lost when you're throwing something this nice.